Hi there, everybody. It's Michele Denman. I've been wanting to share this story with you about Matthew Perry. He is an actor that was on the very well-known show called Friends that had at least like 25 to 30 million viewers per season, or, it was just really, really well-known, Matthew Perry. And he's now opening up, being very vulnerable and honest about his struggles, what he's been through. He recently went on a speaking tour, and he also wrote a book about his struggles and how much he was struggling all these years, and he kind of kept it quiet, and now he's opening up about the battle of addiction and what he's been through. And what's just amazes me about this story is, I'll just tell you this. So back in 2005, there was a time when I actually lived in Hollywood. I felt I was supposed to be living there at the time. And I wasn't yet a born-again Christian, but I believed in God. And so I actually loved God, but I can't say I was saved because I was not born again. But I did believe in God, and I used to, pray to God and all of those things, just as if, again, I have a very different, now that I'm saved, it's very different. But so back in 2005, I was being led to pray for Matthew Perry. And this was when I was in Hollywood. And he was always on my mind. And I was always praying for him. And I really just felt compassion for him. And I remember one night he was on my heart real strongly. And I ended up going in this restaurant. And ended up being seated in a restaurant. And I get into a conversation, now literally the table right next to me. And I don't know how we got on the topic, but it turns out it was a very close friend of Matthew Perry's. So I do believe that the Lord set that up. Even, I really do, because I can see kind of the connection now. But so I ended up, as I'm talking to his friend, which I do believe was I could tell the guy was real. It wasn't, I know people can say anything, but I could tell it was genuine. And I ended up sharing with his friend all these things that I had felt about Matthew. And I said, just let him know he's going to be okay, and that he's going to make it through this, and he will come through what he's going through, and he's going to be all right. Just let him know he's going to be okay. And he's like, sure, I'm going to actually be seeing him, so I'll tell him. And so that was that. And I just, it was kind of a neat moment, because I felt like I really, was always praying. And the amazing thing about how all these things are connected is, in Matthew's most recent interviews and also in his book, he's now talking about God a lot. And I'll share it with you on this live interview he did. But then one of the neat things he did, he said when he prayed, is he literally wrote the words in his book, I knew I was going to be okay. I knew I was going to be okay. And I thought, wow, that's God. And how beautiful is that? And he has just a neat testimony now. And he has been through so much, but I thought, what a neat story. And he believes that God saved him. So listen to his words directly.
Happening in the first prayer, and what was going on during the second prayer, because that's sort of a span of
what was interesting, the first time I prayed, and it was the first time, it was like a prayer of like a 14-year-old. And I was 24, something like that. And I just read that some celebrity, I don't remember who, was in trouble. And I thought to myself, he doesn't care. He's famous. What difference does that make? He's famous. He has it all. And then I knelt down and said, God, you can do whatever you want to me. Just please make me famous. And 3 weeks later, I got friends, and God didn't forget about the first part of it.
What do I want to do to him?
Yeah, that kind of Faustian bargain.
Very bad disease at the same time.
And then deep into addiction, there was a much more real prayer, to save my life, and that was answered as well.
It's incredible. How powerful. This is so powerful. And I want to tell you, his situation, his is very extreme, but I will tell you firsthand, I know that many celebrities I have known, there's so much addiction. It's very sad. It's very common, and there's many reasons for that, but there's just a lot going on there. And it's really hard on people, probably because it wasn't God's original design. The way, the way it's laid out is not. That's why so many people die young and so many don't survive it. So that's why I've always been fascinated with these stories and things of this, because God's always led me to assist people in any way I can, and it's just really deep, and they are requiring a lot of help. Almost, I mean, they're not any more special. They're just people. They're just humans. But it's very sad what can happen, and so many their lives are cut short. You see this over and over again, that so many die young. And so I just really felt led to share this with you, just how he is still alive, and saying God saved him. And he goes deeper into it even as well in other interviews. But thank you so much. I just wanted to share this with you. I thought it was powerful. Take care. Bye-bye.